Hi everybody, and welcome back to Mega Man 9. And because we didn't show the intro animation during the opening, part 1. Sorry, yeah. So I'm gonna show it now. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be from the end of 8? I haven't beaten 8 yet. Nice roll down there. It is the year 20XX, and the world breathes a collective sigh of relief now that Mega Man has once again put an end to Dr. Wily's plans for world domination. But then, ... Also, really love that color. Brothers start going wild all over the world. Could this be Dr. Wily? Up to his old tricks? I have to actually put the volume down on the TV. It's actually because he was getting picked up by the microphone last time. Dr. Light's laboratory. I think this design has been kept kind of consistent with previous games. Oh yeah, there's Chun-Li. Dr. Light, it's your robots. You're right. Those are the robots I created. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not my doing. Dr. Light's creations. These robots are Dr. Light's creations. This proves that he's evil designed on the world all this time. He's had... I completely butchered the reading of that. It's time I turned my efforts to world domination. Why don't you join me, Dr. Wily? I can't join you. I've changed my evil ways. You need to stop this nonsense. Sorry, I'm turning a little bit into Arnie there. That was not intentional. I, Dr. Wily, have created my own robots to stop Dr. Light, but only your donations can help me complete them. Once my robots are finished, they will... I didn't read that. We got another call. The phone is ringing. Off the hook. People keep calling Dr. Light to complain. What should we do? Unhook the phone, I say. For starters, I'm going to do something about those robots. Thanks, Mega Man. Be careful out there. You haven't done this in a while. Ooh, a little typo there. No space between the A and while. Oh, it's showing this cutscene. We saw that already. Okay, so we have a couple of choices here. Oh, yeah. I thought, yeah, I was going to go up. I kind of decided I wanted to go up against Concrete Man this round in between recordings. So, there's a fun little thing I wanted to tell about some production details. And actually, I was reminded of something. Yeah, so that little, John Lee being a newscaster there, I can't actually hear the music now, which kind of sucks. You know, I've heard that that's supposed to be like a very low-key like reference to you know, Chun-Li being a reporter in the Street Fighter live-action movie. I'm not entirely sure how true that is. Oh, by the way, I forgot to go to the store. How surprising! I do like those waterfalls, though. Those remind me of, and I pressed the wrong button again. Wait, how many bolts? I would have had enough for energy. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just discovered where the rapid fire button was. I didn't remember this game having it, but I did play this on the Wii primarily. Wait, I have the dual satellite, so I'm gonna actually use it because I just remember that it's actually really helpful. And this point, oh, it sent that bolt flying back. That was kind of fun. Yeah, so, okay, so, I had the little, my platformer ranking videos come out, you know, somewhat recently, and, you know, that's something I wanted to talk about. But actually, so seeing that intro reminded me of another video I did just recently, which was the Mega Man Legends teaser cartoon for Aqualung's video. And the funny part is, you know, we intended to have Wily from, well, not from the very, very get-go, but once we decided to, which characters, we were deciding, like, which characters would we want there to be featured prominently in the cartoon. Wily was one of the first ones. And, yeah, you know, he doesn't sound German at all in his Legends incarnation doesn't sound any, you know, German at all. So originally, we wanted to do that scene with his German. Well, I recorded his lines doing it with the German voice, but just for shits and giggles, I did want to try out, copying his voice the way it is in Legends. So there is a practice take of me doing his voice line from the cartoon with the kind of what I would call the suave voice, because I think he has kind of like an unnecessarily suave delivery. But it just sounded wrong, so that's why we never end up using it. By the way, another fun part about this is that for the longest time, the Surfbot voices when I was animating the scenes. Eventually, my sister Minna ended up doing the voice of the Surfbots, but originally I had done all the voices of the Surfbots, and you can still hear it in the other two Surfbots. But the main Surfbot, my sister did the voice for that one. I pitched my own voice up, and that's actually how it was originally. Like, I originally delivered that line. Yeah, so anyway, I had that video about the platformer ranks come out, and as I kind of alluded to when I was talking about it, I have actually been playing a lot of these games recently. It's gotten me excited to go back to some of the platformers that I was talking about. But I have to say something about the production of that. I didn't have the master weapon ready. Yeah, he still does a lot of damage. I mean, he still takes a lot of damage, even with the master weapon. Yeah, so I had something, when I finally put those, those tier list videos of me ranking all the platformers online, I really wasn't like super happy with those. I know that sounds really weird, because normally when I finish a production on a video and I put it online, normally I'm super, usually I'm pretty, pumped up about it. Ooh, okay, I've upgraded Rush to help you out. We get the rush it. Yay! Stop! I love how he keeps moving his eyebrows. Come on, Otto, stop that. I'll try to slow him down a bit. Okay, so let's keep on getting on. So I think Plugman is then weak. Wait a minute. Wait. Yeah, Plugman is weak to Jewelman's. So I'm gonna do Plugman's level next. I do love his design. He looks so damn goofy. All right, here we go. So it's a new version of the cherries. Oh, I kind of completely forgot that this game had these. Okay, so yeah, so I was about to say. So, I was initially not like super, excited about the and who forgot to go to the store again? God damn it! Hey, come on, give me that. Yeah, I could have gotten that if I had the fucking slide, but no, I don't. Okay, yeah. So for some reason, I was just not really super hyped, and I think I attribute it partly to the reason that I recorded the first and the second part of the ranking pretty back to back, but then I took like a long break. Oh my god, that med really screwed me over there. Yeah, I took a longish break between parts 2 and 3, but the other, and I don't know. It was something. Maybe I kind of attribute this to the fact that I kind of started to get a little annoyed with myself that I was putting so many of the games in the Nito rank, even though I thought that was totally deserved. But I really started to kind of wonder, should I have had, instead of just having like 3 ranks for bad games, 3 ranks for good games, if I really just should have had like 2 ranks of just 2 ranks of like bad games, and then everything else should be like good to some degree. Oh my god. This fucking horse hockey. How many lives do I got? I don't think I got too many left. This is my last life. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm killing myself and going to the store. Yeah. So yeah. But but you know. And you know, I don't like recording videos if I'm not in the right frame of mind anyway. That's something that I try to kind of avoid these days, honestly. But I was getting annoyed with myself also not finishing that video, or getting that final part done. Because it meant that I couldn't release parts 1 and 2. And I kind of wanted to put all the parts out, you know, pretty close to each other. Like when they did the adventure game rank, I literally did them on consecutive days. And I felt like, you know, I was initially thinking about, well, I could do this over like 3 weeks. But, you know, I was starting to think like, I don't want to wait 3 weeks. You know, I don't want to wait 3 weeks to see like all the parts. So I can't imagine anybody else would really want to wait that long either. And you know, if I had some other big video that I needed extra time to finish, then sure, that would have made actually some sense. Like I could have bought myself some extra time. But you know, I don't have a big video that I'm planning for right now. So you know, I felt like, well, shit, I gotta get on this thing, and I kind of like, and I'm seriously a bit pissed at myself for, you know, forcing myself into finishing that video. Even though, objectively speaking, it was absolutely fine, and you know, it's something that I, you know, because. You know, when I talk, so this is where we get these doppelganger Mega Men. So after I finished editing that rank video, even though it was totally fine and everything, I was still kind of, just kind of, I was just not extremely pleased with myself. Oh, are you kidding me? They won't hone in on the energy, on the E-Tank? So that was something that really, that was something that just kind of pissed me off, honestly, a little bit. And it's weird because, you know, I did forget one game. I didn't acknowledge it. I think I put it in the video description. But I actually forgot one Castlevania game. To be fair, I have not played it in a long while, so that's probably why. But yeah, I forgot about Dracula X. Oh, so Dracula X is the kind of, is the disappointingly bad port of Rondo of Blood for the for Super Nintendo. Although technically, I guess technically, I guess it's not really a port because all the levels are basically different. It just uses the theme songs, the music from. Okay, yeah, I have enough energy tanks. I can afford to blow one here. This guy we did give the lispy voice though, because we wanted to, because Plugman was punchline that wrote itself basically. Quick draw P. Yeah, okay, so these these achievements do show up on the recording. I did notice. I don't think that the choice of that letter was unfortunate. Yeah, so I was a little annoyed with that video, though, and it pisses me off because I know that's going to be the most recent video on my main channel for a while. Like, I am working on something that I'm going to... Plug ball? Oh, God. Yeah, why did you put a plug in it? Okay, yeah. Then we'll override that one. Alright, and now I finally remember to go to the store. Okay, so let's get some energy tanks all up in here. Actually, if I had saved enough, I could have gotten that roll head, which puts on the roll costume, so you get to play as roll, although you're not technically roll. I think they have that same thing in some other Mega Man game. By the way, so I said I don't really like this level, but I do like Tornado Man's design, and I do like the level theme. Yeah, this is probably the second best level theme in the, I really liked it when they brought this, when they, like, revealed it in the trailer, you know, back in the day. Oh, no. Ah, screwed up. So, I do kind of like this gimmick. And the weird thing about that, the weird thing about that is, you know, is that when I see this spinny thing, I immediately think of Obama. That's, I guess, weirdly appropriate. I don't know what it was about, like, you know, okay, so Obama had just been elected president of the United States. Not my country, I'm Finnish. So, but, you know, I don't know why, but that spinny thing, for some reason, I have this weird association. It's one of those weird things, like, it doesn't make any sense, because I don't know, this doesn't have anything to do with Obama, but Obama had just been elected president. You know, I always want to say that this game came out in 2009, but it does say 2008. So I don't know. Maybe it came out in 2009 in Europe. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But technically, like, it wouldn't have made any sense. Because, you know, one of the reasons why, you know, video games used to take a long while to get around into Europe, you know, was because of the localization. You can probably guess that, you know, and not localizing the game, they rarely did that. I mean, releasing, like, translating all the materials and stuff. Okay, I need to... Oh, no! Yeah, this part is a little bit annoying, though, because I jumped too early there. But yeah, so that was what I was... What was getting at, was like... you know, I have been watching that, you know, tier list video subsequently, though, and I do now, you know... I do think it was still a good thing for me to do it, because it just let me get those thoughts out of those games out of my head, and it was actually like, you know, it was actually like that video specifically partly what made me want to finally do this Let's Play. Oh my god, I'm really shit at this. I'm having a hard time getting onto that next rolly thing. I'm too impatient. That's probably the problem. So another thing that I was just thinking of... Oh, Jesus Christ. Why am I such shit today now? I guess the opening just went too smoothly, that's why. Yeah, so, what I was saying is... Oh my god. That I've seen... So some of the other games that I have replayed as a result of redoing the tier list, I started playing Limbo again, and was reminded of that, you know, Limbo's such a good game. I actually wanted to try out Boy and His Blob for the Wii for the longest time, but I realized, like, I don't have it, so it must be at my sister's house right now, because she has a bunch of my Wii games. She has probably Wario Land Shake Dimension, which I forgot to mention is called... It's not actually called that in the North American version, but, you know, you can't remember everything. Okay, let's see if I can... Yes, I got the... Okay, and I'm getting a little sick and tired of this shit, so I'm gonna just... No! No! Defeated by my own hubris. Jesus, do I have 0 lives now? I do. I have 0 fucking lives. Well, I thought that this thing... I was wondering, like, when are things gonna go wrong? Because inevitably something has to go wrong at some point in these Mega Man Let's Plays, so... That's what that was. Okay, so something else I wanted to talk about. I was kind of reminded of this because I was like, when did I want to talk about this recently? And I thought, oh, it wasn't recently, it was last year. So, Eurovision happened a couple of weeks ago. And when I was doing the Sonic Generations last year, I recorded one of the episodes like very close to when Eurovision had happened last year. And last year there was a bit of controversy regarding the winner. So I wasn't talking about it though because, well, frankly, because, well, the controversy made sense to me, but, you know, I wasn't really in the mood to discuss it because the thing, like I wasn't that butthurt about it, but, you know, you might be wondering to yourself, like, you know, shouldn't I be, because, you know, Finland was robbed of the victory last year by the jury votes. So if you don't know what Eurovision is, you know, Eurovision, of course, is this quote-unquote song competition that's held every year. Really, it's kind of like it's like a promotion for possibly up-and-coming artists. And you know, ABBA won it back in the 70s, but these days it's mostly like just an excuse to just have a fun party. So, you know, there's a lot of silly songs that get released every year based off it, and you know, not a lot of it is good, but you know, but you know, these days I'm more of the inclination that as long as everybody has fun and it's, you know, and there are fun songs to listen to. That's why I like it. It's a bit of a family tradition to watch it with our mom. And yeah, so there was a time in the past when I was kind of more seriously into Eurovision. I would say, in hindsight, I think almost like, you know, cringeworthily too serious, because well, here we go. Here we fucking go. It's time for a recording break anyway. Alright, I'm gonna stop by the store real quick, just to check what's in here. I'm thinking of... I was thinking of buying some extra life, but maybe not. Maybe that's not worthy. Okay, so Eurovision, so it's a live television event, and then people get to, you know, televote on it, who they think was the best song or performance, and you know, they win, and then the country that they represent gets to host the competition next year, unless they are not able to for financial reasons, or when Ukraine won because of the war. So, you know, so the UK hosted that time. And the thing is, you know, so these days I don't take it too seriously, and especially, you know, in 2020, you know, the competition was canceled because of COVID, and the stark contrast pre and post 2020, you know, I kind of had been getting slowly sick and tired of Eurovision because there were too many ballads. Everybody was singing in English, because that was something that I really liked about Eurovision in the late 2000s and early 2010s, was the fact that there were a lot more countries performing in their own language, and with like a lot of ethnic flair and things, because that's the thing that I really liked about that competition, just the fact that you got to hear songs being performed in like all these different languages and shit. I thought that was really cool and fun. But the reason everybody started doing English language ballads was because everybody wanted to win, and English language ballads tend to kind of do mostly kind of well in the competition. So when we came back after, you know, COVID put a stop to Eurovision for 1 year, the competition was a lot more varied. There were a lot more different types of songs, and you know, the quality of the competition was a lot better. But then we came to the unfortunate thing, which was that, you know, some years ago, I forget already when, they introduced, apart from the televoting, they introduced professional juries. And this is something that I will admit that I've had a complete turnaround, you know, reversal since then. Because there used to be this thing people talked about was block voting, that countries would vote for their neighbors and things, and people perceive that as being unfair, and I will, you know, admit that to me that seemed a bit unfair as well. I wasn't like into, you know, some people kind of, you know, even I think went a little overboard with that, like saying like it was like part of this big conspiracy, that it was basically like an artificial way of ensuring that you know, certain countries would always win, that it was always like some country's turn to win Eurovision or something, which, you know, that went a bit overboard for me. But yeah, block voting definitely is a real thing. So to combat block voting, they introduced international juries, which were like supposed to be like professionals voting for the song as well. So it would be 50-50, the televote and the audience vote. And I was kind of when it was first talked about and mentioned and then implemented, I was, at first in favor of that on some philosophical level, because I thought to myself, okay, well now okay, that's a good idea, because then the guys complaining about block voting, don't have a leg to stand on. But the jury votes have definitely turned into that thing that started with good intentions and has kind of just completely flipped around into something that now kind of defeats the purpose of the whole competition. Like, almost every single year that the jury vote, since the jury vote was introduced, the jury vote has severely, swayed the competition, and last year Finland and Sweden were, the top two, and the gap in the votes, the popular votes, was humongous. But basically, I'm saying, like, every single year that the jury vote has been around, the end result has caused people. Basically, nobody's happy with the end results. I mean, maybe the winning country is happy that they get to then host the competition the next year, because even though it is expensive, like, it's still an honor, and you're a winner. So I don't know. Maybe I'll save up my balls in case we get to get the roll costume. That would be kind of funny. But yeah, we're gonna do this level. We're gonna do Magma Man, but I'm not gonna go into the Wily Tower, into the Skull Castle in this part. Maybe in part 3 then. Okay. But that was last year. I thought Finland had a good song and everything. Oh my god. But yeah, the same thing happened this year again. Like, Croatia would have won, but the vote swayed the results in favor of Switzerland, who, to be fair, had a good song and everything, but, I kind of feel like, and I'm sure I'm not alone, I feel like there were other reasons why Switzerland ended up winning that had nothing to do with the song itself. You can be the judge of whether or not I'm right or not about that. But anywho, the point is, though, like I said, I try not to think about that too much, though, because I really just watch Eurovision to have a good time, and the results don't win. It's a competition, but I don't care who wins. Basically, that's what I'm getting at. The only good, but. So this year, it was just really hard, because this year Eurovision had this very unhealthy, just really, really awkward mood. Like, it was really tense, and the tension was caused by Israel being in the competition while there's, a war going on between Israel and Gaza right now, and Palestine right now, and yeah, I definitely side, like, I thought the boycott thing was, when people were talking about boycotting the competition, I thought that's a bit, over the top, but, fair enough, but then nobody did boycott the competition, so they just went ahead with it anyway, and I was kind of like thinking, like, well, for God's sakes, if you're gonna actually boycott the competition, like, it kind of felt to me like it was a whole ado about nothing in the end, because the finale then did go off without a hitch, more or less. There was a lot of booing this year, definitely, way more than, even during, like, the pre-COVID years when Russia was still competing, because Russia, of course, is banned from the competition for obvious reasons. Wow. Oh, wow, that was embarrassing. Okay, but yeah, so what I was getting at is that, again, I get the extra live only to immediately lose it. That's really funny. Okay. But yeah, so there was this really annoying tension in Eurovision this year that really, like, it kind of soured the whole thing a little bit, even though I felt that the songs this year were really good. In fact, there were quite a few this year that got stuck in my head and I've been listening to since the competition ended. Because last couple of years, even the post-COVID competitions, typically I haven't really stopped to listen to the songs that much anymore. But yeah, so Croatia was one of my favorites actually, and you know, Croatia, despite everything, despite the jury, you know, swaying the competition, you know, the results, still had their best results ever. So good for them. Good for them. My absolute favorite was actually Norway. It's really because they went fucking hard. I love that song, by the way. But I did, you know, some of the silly ones that I did like were also Estonia and Austria and Armenia. The Armenian one especially. That is the kind of shit that I used to love watching Eurovision for. Yeah, Magma Man, sad. His fire getting blown out. Oh, except now he regained his composure. All right, I will watch this cutscene and then we'll end it. Yeah, so it kind of wrecked, and also like the whole thing with Netherlands getting disqualified from the final. I mean, it was unrelated to everything else, but it was like adding on the pile, definitely. And yeah, I think EBU definitely, they have to take a long, hard look at themselves and how they handled everything about the competition, because it wasn't so much that something happened, but the fact that there was so much tension. There were like, and you know what? Just, you know, my 2 cents. You know, maybe don't invite countries that are in the middle of war, period. Like, not just, you know, Israel, but anybody, because obviously that seems like a bad idea to me. This is the memory circuit board. We can play back his memory to see why he went crazy. Oh, I would have wondered if you finished Splash Woman last, if that would say she. I'll put it on the screen. So what are you trying to say? I'm saying you're all going to end up in the junkyard. Of course. When we're done with our work, that's what happens. It's not just you. Millions of robots all over the world are winding up as piles of junk. You work hard for the humans, and then they destroy you when you're no longer needed. Doesn't that make you angry? ... Just because you reached some arbitrary expiration date doesn't mean you should be scrapped. You're all still quite useful. You have a right to live. I'm going to help you. Together, we'll show the world how useful all you can still be. Perhaps you're right. We still want to be of use to people. Can you repair us? I'd be glad to. You're in good hands with me. But you know what? Like, Wily has, you know, it's actually making like a good point there. It was Wily all along. Are you even surprised? Wow, that had some Sonic Adventure vibes there. Alright, so that ends part 2 of this Mega Man 9 Let's Play. When we come back, it'll be the Wily Fortresses. And I predict that this is going to go badly because I have not played the Wily Fortress in this in a long while. But I hope you enjoyed watching me. Yeah, and just to quickly finish up on Eurovision, like I said, I think EBU really needs to think about the rules and stuff. And I hated that because, you know, there were some good songs this year, but like everything else kind of overshadowed it. So it was hard to have a good time with it. But anyway, this has been This Let's Play. I'm TheHande. Back in and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.